All right, Prime Minister Narendra Modi is holding a mega roadshow in Mumbai in Ghatkopar. This is a 2.5-kilometer roadshow, and he is campaigning for the BJP leader Mihir Kotecha, who is contesting from Mumbai Northeast constituency. The traffic police have made elaborate arrangements, as you can imagine. Earlier, the Prime Minister addressed a rally where he hit out at both the NCP, he called them the fake NCP and fake Shiv Sena, even alluding that they would be merged with the Congress after elections. Well, let's go across to Radhika now, who joins us from there. And Radhika, tell us more about what's happening and the sort of response to the Prime Minister's roadshow.
That's right, Gargi. Prime Minister Modi holding a roadshow in Maximum City just ahead of elections in Mumbai. 6 constituencies in Mumbai going to polls on May 20th, ahead of which he is now canvassing for all the candidates, especially the BJP candidates. There is, of course, Sena versus Sena in 3 Mumbai seats happening here. Of course, this is a 2-kilometer roadshow that is happening at this point in Ghatkopar area. This is Mumbai Northeast constituency, from where Mihir Kotecha is a BJP candidate. Of course, Prime Minister Modi will be holding another rally. I'm just going to show you around. This is the spot from where Prime Minister Modi just left. I will show you the cutouts that's put up right here. In fact, he just left from this particular spot about 5 to 10 minutes back. Of course, this election is very, very significant as far as BJP is concerned, and also for the regional parties Shiv Sena and NCP, considering the kind of realignments and splits that took place last year. In fact, post the split, this is the first election that is happening. So therefore, this is in a way an identity battle for both the Senas and for both the NCPs. And as far as BJP is concerned, this is a prestige battle. We know for a fact that government collapsed, in fact, a couple of years back post the Sena split, and after which, of course, the BJP came back to power along with Eknath Shinde, post which, of course, another big setback for Uddhav, for the MVA in the form of NCP also splitting and then joining hands with the BJP. So BJP, the NDA in Maharashtra, therefore became stronger in the state. But now it is a prestige battle because several, in fact, many political observers also feel that while there is the Modi charm and the Modi appeal that could work, there is also the sympathy factor that could work for Uddhav Thackeray as well as Sharad Pawar. So yes, a prestige battle, identity battle as far as both Mahayuti as well as MVA is concerned. But Prime Minister Modi in Mumbai to campaign for the candidates within Mahayuti in the state of Maharashtra in Mumbai, which is going to polls on May 20th.
That's right. Thanks so much, Radhika, for joining us with that. And we will be taking a closer look at, what Radhika spoke about, these realignments in the state, what it means, where the sympathy of the people lie, and whether Modi magic can work. So that's coming up at 8:30, where we take a look at Maha Battle last leg and the Prime Minister's mega roadshow. All right, now staying with news from Mumbai, rescue and relief work continued today at the site of the hoarding collapse in Ghatkopar, where 14 people were killed. This after the 100-foot-tall illegal billboard fell on a petrol pump. This took place on Monday after a freak storm there. Meanwhile, the owner of the ad agency who put up that billboard remains missing. But so far, no action taken against any officials, and the blame game between authorities is continuing. The BMC has shifted the onus on the railways, asking them to remove all illegal hoardings. Well, let's go back to Radhika for more. And Radhika, so today, tell us more about, the efforts, the rescue efforts continuing, the fears that there could be more people trapped in that debris, but also how no action has been taken against any officials and this blame game continuing.
Certainly, Gargi, action being taken only against that particular individual who's the owner of that ad agency. He's still absconding, his phone switched off, his last location at Lonavla, but police have not been able to arrest him so far. He's the only one who's been named in the FIR, and the charges are culpable homicide among other sections of the IPC. However, not a single individual from GRP, from BMC or from the state government who've been named in the FIR. The fact remains that this permission was given by Government Railway Police in Maharashtra to the ad agency owner. That's how he set up that huge, massive hoarding which had gone beyond the permissible limits. There are BMC rules that speaks about permissible limits, that it shouldn't go above 40 feet. However, this was a 100-feet hoarding and it was given permission. So therefore, an inquiry, of course, has been set up by GRP. BMC saying that it had no hands, there was no permission given by them, there was no sort of permission asked from them, and GRP also did not consult the BMC. Of course, BMC, sending out a slew of notices to sort of take down all the illegal hoardings in the city. Measures being taken at this point, but it's too little, too late at this point. But as you pointed out, as far as rescue and relief work is concerned, it's still ongoing. It's been almost 2 days, but only about 20% of rescue work is done because it is challenging. It's a petrol pump, so they're not able to use a lot of equipments which could be flammable. But there is a possibility that more people could be trapped under the debris. But at this point, BMC continue to maintain that the number of dead are just 14. Are 14, and the number of dead have not increased. The number of deceased people have not increased as yet, is what the BMC has said. 70 people injured, of which 40 are still being treated in the hospital at this point. But rescue and relief measures going on. It is difficult. All the machinery, equipments being used, all the agencies being pressed into service, including the NDRF, local police, BMC, MMRDA at the site carrying round-the-clock work. But yes, the accountability is something that has not been pinned on any of the government, BMC or GRP officials.
All right. Thanks so much, Radhika, for bringing us the very latest there. And let's take a look at this report as rescue work continued at the site of the billboard collapse.
Scenes at the Ghatkopar hoarding collapse site. Over 48 hours after the catastrophic accident, reports suggest the death toll has climbed to 16. Though rescue agencies are yet to confirm the retrieval of the two bodies, rescue teams are still working round the clock to remove debris. NDRF says all efforts are being made to rescue those who are still possibly trapped. The fact that the crash site is a petrol pump is complicating and slowing down the rescue efforts.
हर जगह पेट्रोल है, तो हम लोग जो बाकी इक्विपमेंट्स है, कटिंग इक्विपमेंट जिससे चिंगारी निकलती है, वो हम लोग यूज़ ही नहीं कर पा रहे हैं। गैस कटर से हम लोग कट कर रहे हैं क्योंकि उससे चिंगारी नहीं निकलती है, तो जो जहां हमें कट करना है वही हम लोग फ्लेम जला रहे हैं और कट कर रहे हैं। अगर ये पूरे गिरडर को, जो होर्डिंग को अगर 100% माने तो हमारा 15% के आसपास का मलबा अभी तक हट गया है।
Several difficulties being faced as there are many equipments they cannot use, as this is a petrol pump and they cannot use inflammable materials, which is why JCB being used, manual gas cutters being used, and several other equipments being used which are manual by the NDRF and other officials including fire brigade. Though NDRF, fire brigade, local police, MMRDA and civic officials are doing all they can to clear the debris, it may take another 3 or 4 days for the rescue and relief operations to conclude. With Sunil Singh and video journalist Vijay, this is Radhika Ramaswamy for NDTV.
All right, moving on to other news now. The first set of citizenship certificates to 14 people were issued today under the Citizenship Amendment Act, or CAA, the contentious act. Now, this comes nearly 2 months after the centre had notified it just ahead of elections, initiating the process of granting Indian nationality to persecuted non-Muslim migrants from Pakistan, Afghanistan and Bangladesh. Now, under the CAA, the qualification period of citizenship application has been reduced from 11 to 5 years for undocumented non-Muslim migrants from Pakistan, Bangladesh and Afghanistan who had come to India before December 31st, 2014.
आज ही मैं आपको एडवांस में समाचार दे रहा हूं, दिल्ली में प्रथम 300 लोगों को नागरिकता मिलने जा रही है। ये देश का कानून है स्मिता जी, और इसको इस तरह से झुठलाया नहीं जा सकता। जो हिंदू, सिख, बौद्ध, जैन, क्रिश्चियन भारत, पाकिस्तान, बांग्लादेश और अफगानिस्तान से आए, वो सारे लोग 2014 के पहले जो शरणार्थी बनकर आए, उनका अधिकार है, डॉक्यूमेंट हो न हो उनको नागरिकता मिलेगी।
Well, news from Jharkhand now. The Enforcement Directorate has arrested Jharkhand State Minister Alamgir Alam. The Congress leader was arrested today by the Enforcement Directorate in a money laundering case. Well, let's go across to Prabhakar Kumar now for more. And Prabhakar, the ED had recently seized huge amounts of cash from his house.
Yeah, it was actually 35 crores to be precise, which was seized from the house help of Sanjeev Lal, who happens to be the PS of Alamgir Alam, the minister in question. And he was being quizzed by ED for last 2 days. So yesterday we saw around 10 hours of grilling by ED. He was questioned at the ED office at Ranchi, and today also he was questioned for 6 hours, and after that ED decided to put him under arrest. Now our ED sources are saying that Alamgir Alam was not cooperating with the ED. He was not ready to answer many questions which was posed to him as to how such a big amount was recovered from the house help of his official PS, Sanjeev Lal, who happened to be his official PS. And remember, he is from Congress. He is a minister in the JMM government from the Congress quota. So it would be a politically big issue, a big embarrassment for the Congress and the JMM as well, especially when the poll campaign is already on in the full swing. We are in the middle of the 2024 Lok Sabha polls, and this minister, it would be very difficult for anybody actually to explain this 35 crore cash seizure which was done from his house, his PS house help. So it would be a political issue as well, and you'll see many the BJP and the concerned parties, the allied parties, they will be raking up this issue nationally now.
Right, thanks so much, Prabhakar, for joining us there with those latest developments. Now, huge embarrassment for the Delhi police today. The Supreme Court ordered the release of NewsClick founder Prabir Purkayastha, declaring that his arrest by the Delhi police under the anti-terror law was illegal. He was arrested last year. A bench of Justices B.R. Gavai and Sandeep Mehta said that the remand copy was not provided in the case, which makes his arrest void.
Relief for NewsClick founder Prabir Purkayastha and a big rap for the Delhi police from the top court that ordered Purkayastha to be released immediately, holding that his October 2023 arrest and remand order illegal, since he was not provided the remand order and the grounds for arrest in writing.
We've been directed to furnish the bail bonds before the trial court, which we will be doing today. It is a very major and a big relief, because we have been maintaining from the very beginning that the entire proceedings against him were illegal and the manner of arrest and the remand proceedings were illegal, which has now been upheld by the Honorable Supreme Court.
Mr. Purkayastha was arrested on October 3rd last year under the anti-terror UAPA law, days after a New York Times investigation alleged that NewsClick had received funding from a network pushing Chinese propaganda. In a March charge sheet that ran into 8,000 pages, including annexures, Delhi police accused NewsClick and Mr. Purkayastha of terror funding and promoting Chinese propaganda. The Supreme Court had on April 30th questioned the Delhi police for hastily producing Mr. Purkayastha before the magistrate without informing his lawyer about his arrest. The top court had also found it surprising that the remand order was passed even before his lawyer received his remand application. Bureau Report, NDTV.
The BJP intensified its attack on the AAP following allegations of assault which were levelled by AAP MP Swati Maliwal. The party even staged a protest today and also demanded that Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal should speak out on this issue. The Congress said that Swati Maliwal needs to come forward and demand action. Meanwhile, Aam Aadmi Party remained mum today.
Aam Aadmi Party and its MP and ex-NCW chief Swati Maliwal in the eye of storm. That doesn't seem to be dying down, though Delhi police have failed to establish contact with her. AAP leader Sanjay Singh and Delhi Women's Commission member Vandana visited her residence in New Delhi. This comes a day after when Singh stated that Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal's personal assistant Bibhab Kumar misbehaved with Maliwal and Kejriwal directed them to take stern action in the matter. BJP intensified its attack on AAP following allegation of assault levelled by AAP MP Swati Maliwal, with party members staging a protest near Delhi Chief Minister's Arvind Kejriwal's home, demanding a probe into the incident.
अरविंद केजरीवाल देश की जनता को बताएं कि 13 मई को सीएम हाउस में जो बदनाम घटना हुई है उसका काला सच क्या है। पिछले 48 घंटे से महिलाएं अरविंद केजरीवाल से यही सवाल पूछ रही हैं और सभी सवाल पूछ रहे हैं।
The Congress too is questioning why Maliwal hasn't lodged an FIR so far.
मैं यही मांग करूंगी बिल्कुल कि इस पे स्वाति मालीवाल को आगे आकर एफआईआर करवानी चाहिए, कानूनी सहारा लेना चाहिए कानून का और कानूनी कार्रवाई हो ये सुनिश्चित करना चाहिए और दिल्ली पुलिस को इसमें संज्ञान जरूर लेना चाहिए।
Aam Aadmi Party is under scrutiny over Swati Maliwal's assault complaint, with no action from the party and no FIR from Swati Maliwal so far. Questions are being raised if she is under political pressure to shove the matter under the carpet. In Delhi, Ishika Verma for NDTV.
The Supreme Court has now summoned the Uttarakhand Chief Secretary to explain the state's lackadaisical approach to handling forest fires in the hill state. The top government official must appear before the court on Friday, and this stern demand comes after the court this morning took the centre and state governments to task, asking searching questions over a lack of funding and the diversion of forest guards to election duties as the hill state struggles to contain hundreds of active wildfires. The forest fires, over 1,000 have been reported across 1,145 hectares since November, have caused an estimated huge amount of damage in the state, and now no forest officials can be sent for any poll duties. Our election special report, and the focus is on Rai Bareli. For the Congress, it's the last remaining bastion in Uttar Pradesh, a state where they have been more or less wiped out. For Rahul Gandhi, this is a battle for legacy and prestige. It was his mother's constituency for decades. He's faced by BJP's Dinesh Pratap Singh. Here's a report.
The Ghantaghar in Rai Bareli is a witness to the political history of the district. Considered a Gandhi family stronghold, the first member of parliament from here was Feroz Gandhi. And out of the 72 years of the independence, the Congress has held this for 66 years. And this time, it is the Rahul Gandhi who is contesting elections.
A battle for legacy and prestige for the Congress in Rai Bareli, its last remaining bastion in UP, a state with 80 Lok Sabha seats, the largest for any one state in the country. For the Congress that has lost Rai Bareli just thrice since 1952, it is the passing of the baton from Sonia Gandhi, MP from the seat since 2004, to her son Rahul, who lost neighbouring Amethi in 2019 and whose Rai Bareli candidature was announced last minute by the party amid safe seat barbs by the BJP. Former Prime Minister Indira Gandhi won Rai Bareli thrice.
हमारे परिवार का अमेठी रायबरेली से 100 साल का रिश्ता है।
रायबरेली वैसे राहुल के दादा फिरोज गांधी वहाँ के एमपी थे।
जब मैं अमेठी का एमपी था, रायबरेली के लोग आए थे, आपको याद होगा, आईटीआई के लोग आए थे। आईटीआई को वाजपेयी जी की सरकार बंद कर रही थी, कहा कि ये देखिए हमारी नौकरी का सवाल है, हमारे भविष्य का सवाल है। तो मैंने काफी मतलब उसमें
हम लोग बहुत कोशिश की और उसको बचाया।
The Congress and the Gandhi family are leaving no stone unturned to retain Raebareli.
एक जमाने में आप इंदिरा जी की जवाबदेही लेते थे। राजीव गांधी जी आते थे, प्रधानमंत्री थे, आते थे, महिलाएं उनसे पूछती थी, अच्छा भैया आपने कहा था कि यहाँ पे आप नलका लगवाएंगे, ये नलका नहीं लगा है। ये थी हमारी राजनीतिक परंपरा। आज आदत बिगड़ गई है।
The BJP candidate against Rahul is this man, Dinesh Pratap Singh, a former Congress leader who joined the BJP in 2018 and unsuccessfully contested the 2019 Lok Sabha election against Sonia Gandhi on the seat. However, there was an interesting sidelight to that defeat. The defeat margin was 1.67 lakh votes. It was the lowest margin in Raebareli for decades.
प्रणाम कर कर मेरी बात की शुरुआत।
Now the BJP is pushing hard.
भाइयों बहनों, 5 बच्चियां डूबकर मर गई।
With its top guns campaigning across the constituency.
ये परिवार है आपका। मैं आपको बताता हूँ, रायबरेली में कमल खिला दो, 400 पार अपने आप हो जाएगा। लोकतंत्र के अंदर 5 साल तक यहां से चुन कर जाने के बाद सोनिया जी और इनका परिवार रायबरेली कितनी बार आया है भैया, बताओ तो जरा।
7 kilometers from the Raebareli town, at the Rasulpur Gunda village, the sentiment is in favor of the Gandhis.
पहले से लगा हुआ है, जुड़ाव पूरा कांग्रेस परिवार से है, गांधी परिवार से विशेष तौर पर, और मान के चलो पूरा गांव तरफे रहेगा, कांग्रेस से परिवार में रहे।
देखो इस गांव को राहुल गांधी नहीं, गांधी परिवार से लगाव है।
अच्छा, गांधी सर ने मैटर करता है
जी, वो चाहे सोनिया गांधी हो, राहुल गांधी हो या प्रियंका जी हो, इसलिए कि अभी तक रायबरेली में जो कुछ हुआ या हमारे गांव में जो कुछ हुआ वो सब गांधी परिवार की देन है।
लोग कहते हैं कि यहाँ कुछ होता नहीं, कह रहे हैं कि 70 साल से कांग्रेस कुछ किया नहीं, लाइट बिजली और जब पंख ये सब आया तो कौन लाया पहले से।
At the other end of the town is the Didoli village.
गांव के प्रधान जी हैं राजकुमार सिंह, उनके माध्यम से बीजेपी के सहयोग से पूरा अच्छा खासा, दिनेश प्रताप सिंह के सहयोग से पूरा बढ़िया गांव हमारा अच्छा है, विकसित है, विकासशील है, ठीक है, विकासशील भी है, उनके माध्यम से विकसित भी हुआ है।
Rahul's entry in Raebareli triggered a war of words between the BJP and the Congress for Rahul not contesting from Amethi. This is going to be a litmus test for Rahul Gandhi, as Raebareli was the only seat that the Congress managed to win in the 2019 general elections. The BJP, on the other hand, will try every move to defeat the Congress in this prestige battle. With camera person Virendra Kumar Saini, Narendra Singh and Tanish Punjabi for NDTV.
All right, with that, time for us to slip into a short break. Coming up on the other side, we take a look at the Maha battle in Maharashtra ahead of the last phase in the state.